Yo, what's going on, guys? Yo, what's up, guys? Thanks, Alex. Good man. All right, well, I think everyone's in here, so we'll just go ahead and get started here. So we're getting some interesting price action right now. So I was looking at, so I took a long off this break and retested the high here. The 30-minute has me a little concerned here because I wanted to get it on the 30-minute break of structure here, but just took the 15 because we got aggressive. I know we're retesting the low here, but we'll see. Trump's supposed to open the government now, so we'll see. But another thing is, so if we look at the daily and the 4-hour here, we broke out of this downward trend line here from the lows, and then we're kind of retesting it now. I would still like to see price action come down to 98K for structural reasons I will get into in a second. But if we do bounce here, I want to be in a trade. You know, if we're already holding those shorts from here, why not take a long here? If we do get a nice bottom off this trend line, we had a nice buy wall in the order books down here too. So we'll see. Sometimes with these news break of structures, you can get a failure to push here, but I like this. It looks good. Also, if you look at the 24-minute, 24-minute looks way cleaner. You got a nice 24-minute break of structure here. So hopefully we can come up at least to like 104.5 retest supply here. So we never really got a good retest here. We got like a quick retest on the 15-minute here after we broke. That was the short this morning here. But we do have a lot of liquidity above us, so we'll have to see. But let's zoom out. Let's do a little macro here. So our weekly, let's clean up our chart here a little bit. Get rid of our bear here. So we still have the problem of we broke our weekly structure bearish with this break of the low here. Now we've retested the range, aggressively rejected off of it. This does look pretty bearish here, guys, so keep that in mind. We are counter trend trading, right? So the majority of the time when you take trades, you want to see like your bias time frames aligning with your entry time frames. So like right now, the daily's bearish and the 4 hours bearish. So most of your trades that you're gonna want to take are going to be shorts whenever the medium term time frames align with your larger time frames. So for example, when we took the short off the 30-minute break here, right, you get a quick move down, barely any mitigation, right? When you get the short off of the 15-minute break here, you get a quick move down, barely any mitigation. And that's simply because it's aligning with your bias time frames. So like if you're trading structure, you generally want to enter trades when the 15-minute is bullish and then breaks bearish off of your bias time frames. We were talking a lot about bias on the stream yesterday because it's generally kept us safe here through most of this market. So our bias on the 4-hour remains bearish until we come above 116. It's our external structure high. Now, why would we prefer to take these lows here? Because if we do take these lows, then it does adjust our structure here. So we take the lows here, and then our 4-hour high moves here. It's a lot easier for Bitcoin to come up and break 107 after hitting 98K than it is to come all the way up to 116. Especially if you're a swing trader, since we set in the daily high here with these 2 green candles here, if we do come down and then break this high, the risk to reward is a lot better to get in on a mitigation of that to come all the way back up to all-time highs than it is to come up to 116, mitigate there, and then go to all-time highs. Like, it's a lot bigger stop loss, right? So if you're getting into a swing trade, it makes a lot more sense to come down here. We do still have weak lows below us on multiple time frames. So we do have weak lows here. We had a bit of a local accumulation model back here. So generally we were looking for kind of, you get this 1 hit, 2 hit, break of structure, 3rd hit, jump across the creek, back test the creek and go. This would have generally been where we were expecting to get the bounce if we were going to hold up. However, I believe this was weekend liquidity here. So I do kind of like that we've swiped this liquidity here, but this really is kind of the last hope for Bitcoin to bounce. I sent a meme in the Discord earlier, "You're my only hope, Anakin," or Obi-Wan, right? This is kind of the last area where we would get a bounce before we look at sweeping this liquidity down here. We'll check back on this in the 30-minute. I'd like to see a 30-minute close above here. It'd make me feel a lot better about this trade. These wicks is just indecision pressure. I do like how we're holding up though. Yeah, everything's internal 1 hour down. So we still, if you want to come higher, we still want to see, at the very least, if we're not going to sweep these lows, we want to see Bitcoin break bullish on the 1 hour, which would be a break of 107,200. So if we see a break of 107,200, that kind of gives us the front run to this 4-hour break. If you're talking about getting into swing trades with a good risk to reward, we'd want to see 107,200 break, 107,700 break first. The reason that I'm still kind of bearish and I still expect us to come sweep these lows is because we didn't grab that when we retested the weekly here. We do know there's a lot of liquidity up here. That's why this is kind of the target for the long. But we'll have to wait and see. Below us, we do have a lot of important levels. So we have our daily demand block here at 98,000. Everyone's talking about this. Well, they should be, at least if you're whoever you're listening to, should be talking about 98,000 because we narrowly avoided tapping that back here in June, and we built up a lot of liquidity underneath this low. So if we do grab this liquidity, it gives us a chance to grab, bump, and run. That would be the most desirable outcome right now, would be to come in terms of like cleaning up the charts and making it a lot easier to break back bullish. We do have downward posturing on both these EMAs here. Got a possible death cross coming, so we'll have to pay attention to that. But really, all we're looking for right now is if we can get a little bit of a pump out of this Trump news, maybe come back up to test liquidity, see how far we can run that. Otherwise, it's very attractive to sweep these lows. We can get gig along down here if we get structure, right, for the hope of coming back up. Okay, so that's kind of the local picture here. Since there's a lot of people in the stream that have not been here before, let's kind of run through why Bitcoin's not necessarily bullish. So let me pull over new chart here. We'll kind of start over. Okay, so when we came up to these highs here, we had a weekly SFP, and then we most recently just had a weekly break of structure. On this channel, we call this pattern, like if it's upside down, it looks like this, right? You SFP the lows and then break the highs. We call this a J Powell pattern. Why? Because just like Jerome Powell, it prints money, right? And generally, this is going to be pretty bearish. We've now lost structure on the weekly. We've mitigated and we're pushing back up. So again, if you're taking longs, generally you want to be waiting for high time frame structure. Since 30 minutes is the active time frame, generally you want to wait for 30-minute structure. But generally, most of the money to be made right now is going to be in those bearish breaks on smaller time frames to align back with like your 1 hour and your 4 hour. Why is that important? Because trading with bias saves you, right? So in this channel, we're really good at telling you guys what the bias is and keeping you safe. So for example, I always tell traders to trade with the 4 hour structure, because you generally, it's a lot safer and you don't have to be that great of a trader to make money, right? So you break your 4 hour structure bullish here, you run longs. Break your 4 hour structure bearish here, you run shorts. Break it bullish here, you run longs. Break it bearish here, you run shorts. We've been overall bearish on this channel really ever since this 4 hour break of 122 up here, before we had this massive dump because of the 4 hour structure break. Not only that, but we also had a distribution model up here. So we had 1, 2, 3 hits to the high, break of structure after the second hit. Classic distribution pattern. The way you trade this, you don't trade the SFP, you wait for the 4 hour break of structure, since the daily is the active time frame for distribution, and then you short it down from there. After that, we had our 4 hour high up here, right? So if you're waiting for the 4 hour to break, really all that we did is we came down and we tested our golden pocket. But if we look at Coinbase chart, or wait, this is the Coinbase chart, that's why it looks weird. Yeah, so if we look over here, all we really did is we came down. Why is it not showing correctly? Okay, yeah. We tested basically our golden pocket rejection area here. And then what's interesting about the Coinbase chart here is this is the only chart where we got a new low here. So we had our week low here, we swept that, created a new week low, which kind of gave us a clue to get short on 4 hour structure here, because the 4 hour high moved here. We SFP that, we break 1 hour structure, we come down. The point I'm trying to make is that ever since the price has been here, we have not had any external 4 hour market structure breaks. And to do that now, we'd still have to break up here, because after we take the week low here, the high moves here, and we're waiting to see if we can get that break now. If we come down, then the high moves here and it's a little bit easier, but for now we're still sitting at 116k. This is the line in the sand for Bitcoin, in my opinion. If this was not a dead cat bounce and we're going to come higher, you need to see 116 break to get a durable move. Another thing, if we're looking at total here, something that really helped us call this move down. So on total, this had the weekly break of structure first, right? So we had our weekly break of structure here, whereas Bitcoin didn't break weekly structure until this candle here. So that kept us in a bearish bias as well when we were coming back up. Also, something really important to understand is that we lost weekly momentum here on total way before we lost it on Bitcoin, and this chart does not look bullish, guys. Like this is a pretty bearish chart. So not trying to scare you guys, just want you to be aware. I know a lot of you guys are probably holding a lot of altcoins, and you want to be aware of structure. If we do want to come back and break bullish, it's similar to Bitcoin. We do have to, at least on the daily, break above 3.9 trillion. But for now, a lot of bearish signs. There was something that was keeping us a little bit bullish, and that was we had like this really nice setup on Bitcoin to gold. So we had this macro trend line here, and then we came down, we SFP'd the low on the weekly, and we bounced, and we broke 12-hour structure here out of that bounce off the trend line. The problem now is we've lost the trend line and we're coming to lose structure with gold's recent pump. Gold broke 8-hour structure here on this break of this high here. Right, so 8-hour structure is what originally called the dump, right? We had this nice J-Pow pattern here. And then we come down, set a high, set a low. We bounced right off the golden pocket, previous demand confluence. And now we've broken 8-hour structure pretty bullishly out of this. We are retesting a bit of resistance here, so maybe we come back down. But at this point, our daily structure is bullish, right? Because our low was here. We haven't broken this low. Our weekly structure is bullish, and now our 8-hour structure is also bullish on gold. So any sort of retrace on gold, people would expect to come back up. So really, the thing that was kind of keeping me bullish is looking a little bit bearish, right? Generally, we wouldn't want to see the weekly close below here. So if we are going to get any sort of pushback to save this chart, we would have to have it soon. Otherwise, I mean, this looks like it's coming down probably 2132. Okay. Also, USDT dominance here, right? We are pushing up now. We barely closed even on the week here at 526. So we had a accumulation model on USDT dominance here. We had kind of matched Bitcoin's distribution. And we had first tap, second tap, break of structure, retest the order block, SOS, backup phase, continuation. Now this starts to look bad if we close up here on the weekly, because that becomes a bullish break of structure on the weekly, right? So generally that would be bullish for USDT and bearish for crypto. So the overall outlook does not look good on Bitcoin right now, guys. So just want to keep you guys protected. If you are running longs, just make sure you're running longs on retraces. You're not looking for like a home run out of the park hit, right? Obviously, if the cycle is going to continue, we're running out of time, but we're already generally past where most cycle timelines are. And I mean, everybody had a reason why Bitcoin was going to go to 100K here. If you weren't here for this cycle, everyone was calling for that. But you know, you break structure, you gotta pay the piper, right? So I will happily change my tune if we start to get some bullish structure here, but for now, we keep this big bear here because things are looking pretty bearish. All right, just want to give everybody the quick rundown because I know a lot of you guys are new here. Let's say hi to everyone here. What's up, Nice? What's up, Andrew? What's up, Mark? Kuntube, how's it going? Offshore Miner, good to see you. Mab the Great, what's going on? Dang, there's a lot of chats here. I was gonna say hi to the crew. What's up, Async? What's up, Hot Tamale? Quick Smoker. Mark Dutch, what's going on? Alexandra G, Jesse. Vegas Claw, what's up, man? Bull Runner, good to see you. Okay, cool. Awesome. Do you guys have any questions about anything that we went over here? I know I was going a little fast and I'm kind of operating on the assumption that you guys already understand structure. So if you guys have any questions, you can go ahead and ask them now. We'll look at some altcoins later, but I think it's important you guys understand this. What's the TP for Bitcoin? So generally you can kind of trail with structure, but I mean, first you're looking at like golden pocket, like 103.5, and then you have some resistance at 104.583. Ultimately, I'd like to come swipe the 1 hour high at 107.700. If we are going to get a bullish reaction off of this trend line, that would be nice to kind of set up to confirm that this is the low. If we do break 107.700, then we can start to look a little bit better. Did we break on the 30 minute? Yeah, this 30 minute doesn't look great, guys. a lot of higher wicks. It's kind of a news break, but let's see what happens. We're going to reject at 41.90. Yeah, possible. We are hitting major resistance here from the 8-hour JPEL. Yeah, Mikey, I mean, yeah, we do have to understand there's a weak low below us, right? So generally we would expect to come attack this low into this order block here. But the 24-minute doesn't look bad here. It's also macro liquidity here. There's some buy walls here. It's also just a breakout retest of this. If this fails, right, let's say it's just a previous lows retest and then rolls over, it just allows us to get a better long down here, take profit on our shorts down here. So I'm saying there's a chance. There is a chance, yeah, but this is guilty until proven innocent, right? So you should assume that it's going lower until it proves itself. How does it do that? Well, right now the first step is to come above 107,700. After that, you got to break 116. If you break 116, then I don't see any problem making a new all-time high. But if you can't get above this, you just keep making lows and you don't break 4-hour, you should just expect to continue to go down. Like the daily structure is bearish, weekly structure is bearish, and you know your midterm time frame structures like your 4-hour, even your 1-hour is bearish. I really need to clean up this chart. Like even your 1-hour is bearish, right? So in order to break your 1-hour bullish, we needed to come above this high. We rejected early, so really the only time frame that's bullish right now is the 24-minute down. 94,500. Yeah, I'm looking at this whole order block here. So I like a 1-hour, 30-minute break anywhere down here for kind of the bigger trade. That seems like it's taking forever. Anywhere down in here. So yeah, like 94.5 would be part of it. Hey, what's up, Alex? Yeah, I mean, short term we have some nice breaker structures, little G-string pattern down here off of retest, breakout retest, but long term it's gotta get a little bit. You gotta start breaking some key levels or this looks bad. Like look at the gaps between your 200 and your 4-hour 50 EMA. This is bearish, right? Like this is what we see on big pumps. Right? This is what we see on big pumps. Definitely a lot of bearish momentum to break through. But we just traded level to level, right, guys? So if this is over, right, and we're coming to 70K or whatever, right? I mean, you can make money going down just like you make money going up, right? And you're just looking for times when the small time frames break bearish to align with the larger time frames. Right, so you get like an accumulation model. Generally in a bull market, this would give us a big move. Instead, it just takes us back up to test resistance. You get a 30-minute break, you take the short, you target here, and you're chilling. All right. You watch your 4-hour, you get your SFP here, you break 1-hour structure bearish, you take the short, stop loss here, target the lows, and you're chilling. All right. So I mean, it's the same thing, just upside down. There's money to be made in both sides. Yeah, it's hard to talk about what's going to happen when we get to certain levels like 94,500, right? Because, I mean, we're way up here, right? What I want to see, what I would love to see is to break this low on the 4-hour get like at least like 30-minute and like 1 hour structure down here and pump. Otherwise, if we don't get 30 or 1 hour, right, maybe we set it, come a little bit deeper. Maybe we set a 4 hour high here. We break that low, sweep it, and then break the 4 hour high here. Oh my God, this would be fucking beautiful for a swing trade. This would be awesome. But I mean, subscribe to the channel, join the free learning Discord. We'll be signaling the trades down here because we've been waiting for this forever. But that would mean that this is all just a big fake out. So definitely possible. All right, any other questions about Bitcoin before we look at whatever alts you guys want to look at? Okay, cool. Then we can look at whatever altcoins you guys want to look at. Just let me know when you want to look at.
Welcome home, Columbia. Beautiful, beautiful. Discovery's core computers now have primary control of critical vehicle functions. Liftoff of mission 41B, the first flight of the orbiter Discovery, and the shuttle has cleared the tower. Discovery Houston, press to ATO.
Okay, I'm gonna preface this with, if it's one of the alts that only has internal structure after the dump, I'm not gonna look at it for you because there's nothing I can tell you about it. So yeah, okay, I'm gonna preface this with, if your altcoin looks like this little ovary pattern, right? If it looks like this, I'm not gonna look at it because this is all internal structure from this high to this low. So, I mean, yeah, I mean, it could do this, right? But what I want to see is like break this and then you can run, right? Like there's a lot of coins that have already done this, like Virtuals was one of them. Like what you're looking for if you want to trade an altcoin instead of Bitcoin at this point is altcoins that have already broken their external structure on the like 4 hour or daily time frame, right? Because otherwise, why are you trading it instead of Bitcoin unless you're just shorting it off of market sentiment? Like, do you really care if you bought this down here or if you waited for daily to break, bought the high, and then it pumps like crazy, right? Or you just trade 4 hour breaks after you get the new 4 hour structure? Well, this broke 4 hour structure here. Yeah, like if you want to trade something instead of Bitcoin, you want to see stuff that's already made moves. Now the problem with Virtuals is it could be over, right? Because we now have broken the 4 hour back bearish. But the daily is still bullish, right? Because we didn't put in a valid low here. So what we're looking for now in Virtuals is a quick move down to 90 cents to bounce back up to put in a newer high. Because now, if we're talking about bias, right, you have your dailies bullish, your 4 hours bearish, right, and you see your entry time frames kind of mixed down here. But if we can come down here, get some bullish flips here, that makes more sense to come up. We took a long on Virtuals like on the sweep of the liquidity down here in the 30-minute break, but we took profit right here. Right. Why did we take profit here? Because it's a new 4 hour downtrend. We would expect to reject off of the golden pocket and come back down. So if you have an altcoin that you want me to look at, just make sure it's not in the ovary pattern. Hype, yeah, take a look at hype. Okay. Okay, so hype breaks the external 4-hour structure back bullish here. And then it immediately breaks it back bearish. So hype then sweeps the high, breaks your 4-hour structure bearish with the break of this. And now we're coming back down. Okay, so we did break bullish structure here. And we're retracing the golden pocket right now. So what you want to see now is you want to see some sort of bullish break. So right now you don't have anything here. If you want to get bullish on hype, what you want to see is like a sweep of this low and then come back and break this high and then take it up to liquidity in the highs. That'd be kind of what I see right now. Otherwise, you're waiting for a break around 40 and you don't really have the risk to reward. So you'd have to look for something like that. But yeah, hype got rejected pretty hard up here. I think this line was here from when we were back here. Let's see. Oh wait, yeah, we took a high after that. So this is actually a bearish break on your 4-hour. Yeah, I'd be careful with hype. If hype closes below 37.56, you're likely coming back to this low. Yeah, I wouldn't trust this SFP. You need to have a structure break. Yeah, you didn't even get 15-minute out of this. Yeah, actually, I don't like hype right here. You got to come above 40 cents if you want to get bullish on hype. Otherwise, you're coming to lows. Oh, ICP is another one. Yeah, we can look at ICP. Okay, so ICP is another one. You got a daily break here. You pumped like crazy. You lose your 4-hour structure bearishly here. You're coming back down. So we were looking to come to this decision block here. We've come down to that now. So basically what you want to see for hype is you want to see a 4-hour break back bullish. So right now to do that, you'd have to come above 670. Because your daily is currently bullish on hype. So as long as you don't lose these, on ICP, as long as you don't lose these lows down here at 4.7, you're looking for when the 4-hour, this creates an opportunity, right? A pullback. And you're waiting for when that 4-hour structure breaks back bullish to run it up to the daily week high. So right now that would be, so you can set your alert here. That's what you're looking to break right now to turn back bullish. If we end up taking these lows, then that would just move here. It doesn't really change that much, and you're just looking for a break to get back bullish because you do have a daily week high above you. If you lose 470 on ICP, expect to come down, whether it's something like this, right? But expect to come lower on a closed basis. But for now, yeah, I mean, if you can reclaim this, you have a pretty good risk to reward. So if you come above here, it's like a 3 risk to reward to the highs. If you get a little bit of a mitigation trade, you can make it a little bit better. But just entry based on your desired RR. But no trade unless it comes above 673, unless you're taking shorts on smaller time frames. This is all internal structure here. So doesn't matter, but that's the big idea here on on the ICP. Break 674. What is usual? Yeah, we can look at that. Yeah, this looks like shit, bro. This looks terrible. This has done nothing but go down. I mean, what I can tell you, bro, is like you got to come above 5 cents if you want any shot of a recovery. Otherwise, you're likely coming the week low, which is at 0. Yeah, yeah, guys. Nothing I can really tell you about this. I mean, it's just ranging sideways. Zcash? Yeah, we can look at Zcash. Okay. Okay, so starting with the daily, or starting with the 4 hour, we know the daily's bullish, right? So starting with the 4 hour, we have a 4 hour strong low here. We're retracing a bit right now. We were in our bounce zone here, kind of the previous demand here, as well as like 786 golden pocket. The problem right now with Zcash is we just SFP'd the 4 hour. So this would have looked really good if we were able to close above here. And it still will if we're able to close above that. That's kind of what you're looking for right now. You're getting kind of a pullback to this demand here. There's a nice setup on Zcash if you're able to break here. If you're able to break 516, it's like a 3 risk to reward to the highs, and then you can leave a runner from there if it's going to continue going higher. The danger zone for Zcash is if you close below 371, then you're likely coming to much lower prices. But Zcash has been trading really well on the way up. Like, it's just been following its demand chain. So we've been able to catch some really nice trades off Zcash, but you're just waiting for 517 to break on the 4 hour. And then you can take a long off that and enter your desired RR. Auto logs of the coins. Yeah, I'll have to talk to Kyle about that. Do I have a market structure learning video? Yeah, so if you go to my channel and then you go to live and then type in search in market structure, I have like a free 2.5 hour course that you can watch. Arrow? Yeah, we can look at Arrow. Okay. Okay, so Arrow, we were looking at it back here. We had liquidity here. We swept the high. We broke bearishly here. And then we were looking at coming down here. We've now pushed back. Okay, the problem with Arrow is that we came up here and we SFP'd the daily strong high here. So generally, we haven't had a break of structure yet on the daily. We also had a bearish break of structure. Is this internal? Okay, so it is internal on the 4 hour. So our 4 hour strong low is still here. So if we're looking at our golden pocket here. Yeah, so we're at the, okay, so Arrow might have a setup here. Okay. Yeah, good catch on Arrow. So, let's see, is that 30 minute? Nice. But we haven't set a low yet. About 24 minute. Yeah. Yeah, so on Arrow, if we can come above $1.02, I like building longs on Arrow. Because we do have a 4 hour week high above us. It's like a 3-to-1 risk to reward here. So I would set your alert at like 102.5. Yeah, if we can break 102.5, then you have a play coming back up to the high, which could then lead to leaving a runner higher. But if we can't break that, you would just assume you'd continue to come down. Really, this just creates an opportunity, right? So we break our 15-minute bearish here, and then we dump down. That just creates an opportunity, since we're bullish on the 4-hour, to wait for new breaks on the 15-minute to get back long to target the weak highs. So for now, you're looking at 102 to break. Otherwise, if we keep coming down, yeah, we have pretty good support all throughout this range. So really, you're just looking for like a 30, I would say a 30-minute structure break at this point. Here, since it's a golden pocket, I would like a 15-minute break, but as we come down, a 30-minute break is going to be more reliable to take out these highs if you're swing trading. What's up, V-Monitor? Good to see you, brother. Sui? Yeah, I don't know if I can do Sui. Sui has just had complete internal structure on the way down. I mean, you have a nice little breakout retest here, which is nice, but really Sui has not been performing that well since the dump. It's very similar. It has like the ovary pattern here. So it's all internal structure. I will say, I mean, the breakout retest is nice. It kind of looks like Bitcoin. You can try to trade the internal structure here, but if you want to come higher, you're looking for Sui to break 199 retest and go. But again, like this is all internal structure, but your internal structure does could break here and go. Oh, have you asked for Tau a lot, bro? My fault. Tau is one of the ones that, let's see. Yeah, nice. So Tau is one of the ones that we can actually talk about. Let's do it from scratch here. Okay. So we have external structure here, which is nice. It's your daily bullish. Where was that alert? Oh man, it doesn't matter. Okay. Yeah, so your daily's bullish on Tau, as long as you don't lose this low here. So this creates an opportunity. So we actually have 4-hour structure here. So you break your 4-hour bearish here. You set a high, you SFP that high, you come take the low. So you get bullish again on the 4-hour if you're able to break 416. So look for 416 to break if you want a new high here. We can zoom in a little bit. So it would be nice to take the liquidity in this. So we could have like a similar play to what we had on virtuals here. So if we do break sweep structure here, but then you get like, let's say, okay, so we've set a nice 1-hour. Let's say you sweep this and then break 1 hour here. You have kind of the same golden pocket liquidity play that we had on virtuals back up to here. If you hold this, you're just waiting for minimum like 1 hour to break here, which we do have a nice 1 hour high at like 378. Let's see, zoom in. With the liquidity so close, I mean, if Bitcoin just starts running, you do have like a 15-minute break you could play here at 358. But we have a lot of room to the upside on Tau if this daily trend stays intact up to these previous week highs. So like if we're waiting a little bit longer for like 378 to break, especially since it's an altcoin, like you're a lot more confident taking this trade. And you're kind of front running the 4-hour break, right? So obviously, you know, take some profit at these liquidity highs here. But if you take the trade here and then you end up breaking 4-hour, then you have a great trade up to the daily week high. So that level that I'd be looking at is like 378. If you want to get in quicker, you have a 15-minute break at 358 to play with your low below here. Otherwise, if we grab this low, break, and go, that would be a great move. It just determines the target, right? So if we get a close below here, then generally your target's going to be like a golden pocket retracement. Should be like here, kind of like a dead cat bounce, right? But if we're able to hold on to this structure and we're able to get some breaks here, then your target remains the week high at like 537. But yeah, Gary, I like that you're asking for Tau, because there's actually a reason to trade this over Bitcoin. So I see why you're looking at it. Do you have any other questions on Tau? Yeah, I'm asking for coins that don't look like shit. Gary, thanks for being here, bro. I love you. I'm sorry I missed your Tau calls. Awesome, Gary. Good to hear it. Okay, there was one more that I missed here. Uniswap. Yeah, we can look at Uni. Hey, look at that. Bitcoin's pushing. How long did we just close 30 minute? Please tell me we broke 30 minute. Wait, this has only been 1 minute into this 30-minute candle? Oh wait, oh no. Dude, you gotta be kidding me. They're still not breaking. Dang, what was that wick? Wow, I was talking. We totally missed this. Was this Trump signing the stuff? Hey. All right, so obviously if this 30-minute closes above here, this long looks a lot better, but it already looks better because of that pushback here. Nice. Yeah, kind of just waiting for the 30-minute to close up here. If we SFP this again on the 30-minute, that's just annoying at this point. Man, y'all in the long with me. Y'all probably got scared here, huh? That's why you put your stop behind a strong low. That right there. Okay. Sorry, I got distracted. Completely missed this move. Check out the wicks on Sol. Oof. Oof. Yeah, Sol didn't have the break yet, so we take out the week low on Sol. Yeah, on Sol you want to see a close above 154 if you want to get bullish. This is a nice little low forming here. You need to break 154, but if you do, then you start to get a little more bullish on Sol. Right now we're just SFPing this, so be careful. How quick did that happen? Is that like a 1 minute? Man. Man, y'all could have got some really good risk to reward on this long down here. A lot better than mine. Okay. I got distracted. What was I looking at? Uniswap. Ooh, nice. Nice. Good. Whoever called for this. Good looking out at this. So, Uniswap has just broken its daily structure back bullish. Let's look at our 4 hour. It's bouncing off the golden pocket. Man, did it give you... Oh, it gave you perfect structure down here too. Yeah, so... Oh, man, that's awesome. Yeah, so Uniswap has bounced off the golden pocket, broke bullish here. It's now going up. You have a week high above you on the daily. You have a daily week high above you. You also have a weak high on like some larger time frames too. On your 4 hour, it's a 4 hour weak high. Uniswap looks good. Out of all the coins we've looked at, it looks good. Obviously, we're retesting previous highs right now. You want to use structure to get in. Got a 15-minute low here. If you see like a retrace back down out of this, so like your, is this still 30-minute low? Yeah. So you could look to like come back to test these highs, but that would break your 15-minute bearish. Honestly, you can trade structure on this going up, but Uniswap looks good. I do see that there's a weak high above you at $10. What's the highest active time frame we have? So the 1 hour is still bullish. Was that even? Oh, that was internal structure on the 30 minutes. So it looks like the 15-minute. All right, so the 15-minute breaks bearish here. It's kind of your active time frame. Yeah, it would have been nice to get in down here on Uniswap. But you have a strong low at like 785. So you're really just looking to get a pullback to get in with your stop loss under here. Yeah, I think Uniswap looks great. Yeah, structurally Dutchy, it looks great. Started at 749. Okay. 740. Oh, dude. Of course you did, bro. Of course you did. Nice. All right. Well, you got in where I would have got in. So nice, bro. Nice. I mean, you could move your stop here to protect yourself at entry, but I mean, you're chilling, man. I mean, you have a weak high up here. Obviously, take profit along the way, but great fucking trade, dude. Pardon my language. Great trade. Yeah, we can check ETH. Let's look. Oh, I like these SFP wicks here. So ETH was retracing back to the demand that we were looking at here. It came back to this little order block demand here. We got a nice bounce out of that. We were looking at a trade on ETH on the live stream yesterday at getting long here. We got a nice retrace off of that to support. Got some followed Bitcoin on the bearish breaks here. Down we go. We never took this low, which makes it a little difficult to trade structure here. Yeah, unless you're taking a trade on ETH off Bitcoin, it's a little difficult because your strong highs up here and your weak lows down here. Yeah, even to break your 5-minute bullish, yeah, there's not even a low in here. Yeah, if you're just going to assume off of Bitcoin structure, then really you're looking for, I mean, you got an internal break here. I don't like these lows on ETH, but if Bitcoin's going to go, then I'm sure ETH will go too. I like the level we're bouncing from a lot here, right? This is the untapped demand. If you're going to follow your demand chain, this is generally where we're looking to get a break. Let's see. This was 30-minute for the short, yeah. Yeah, in my opinion, there's not really a reason to trade ETH over Bitcoin here. You don't really have better structure to trade. If you're getting long off this demand, you at least want to see a close above 34.53 so you get some internal structure. You have some resistance at like 35.30 from previous supply. A lot of stop losses in here. But at the very least, get a close above here. Push Bitcoin. This starts to look like a local accumulation model here. SOS. Well, that's good for our longs, boys. Hey, throw a 1 in the chat if you're long with me. I'm just curious. Put a 2 in the chat. Well, I guess maybe you're holding both, but if you're long, let me know. Nice. AVAX? Yeah, we can look at AVAX. Dang, look at that. Okay, so notice the difference between something like AVAX and ETH, right? So AVAX had our favorite pattern here. So we had our bearish break of structure, or sorry, bullish SFP. We had our bullish SFP here. Break of structure. And then off to the races, right? And then you just, you break your 15 here, you set a new strong low, you break the high, you don't break the strong low, and you keep going. It's coming into a bit of supply here, but no real calls for concern here. Let's look at, how does it look on? Man, oh, it's still internal. Yeah, internal structure looks good, but this is, I mean, similar to other coins, this is in your ovary pattern here, right? Just consolidating sideways after the dump. If you want AVAX to really get going, you need to break $30, but it looks good on the internal structure here on the pump. If you got long here, I'd take a little profit up here, like 17.45, pretty much like right where we are now. And then you can, go stop to entry and leave a runner. And if this ends up being like a more macro low, you got a nice little trade there if Bitcoin pumps. But yeah, looks good. If this was external structure here, this is exactly what you're looking for, which is like your SFP break of structure to be bullish. But yeah, man, AVAX looks good internally. You want to see AVAX come above 1775 if you want to come for these highs. That's more like it, Biddy. Get a push here. That's more like it. I'm glad I took this long. Okay. Ooh, XRP. Nice. Breakout, retest. It's broken internal 1 hour structure. Let's check. We have some spider lines for XRP. Hitting a spider line right now. Let's see. Yeah, I mean, the level to watch on XRP is a break above 310 on the daily. If we're just looking internally, I like this break of structure here. Man, we are getting Pump City out of here, huh? Appreciate you, Alexander G. Let's take a look at 4 hour. See, break 4 hour. That's internal, but break 4 hour here. Golden pocket, retest. Yeah, you're hitting some supply at like 250, and you're hitting the spider line here. You want to see XRP clear 260. Locally, I mean, you got a nice little J-Pow here at the lows, right? SFP break of structure. Off you're going. You broke in 1 hour. I mean, likely you're coming here, but we'll have to wait and see. I would pay yourself TP1 here, TP2 here. And then from here, you can leave a runner. It's more likely to be that we're bottoming out. Yeah, exactly, Alex. Yeah, you got to break that daily structure back bullish. Awesome, guys. Well, a lot of new people here today. If this is your first time in the stream, welcome. If you're not really understanding anything, make sure you watch the market structure course, but most importantly, join the free learning Discord in the description. Make sure you subscribe, ring the bell. If you stick around, you learn structure. I promise you won't regret it. You can ask all the people that have been around. Get Rob, good to see you, buddy. All right, guys. Well, we've been live about an hour. Bitcoin's pumping. We'll see what happens. As always, my name is Wave Cipher. Trade safe. Much love. Wave Cipher out. I'll see you guys tomorrow. Take care.